Alaska coach Alex Compton said winning Game 3 to narrow Magnolia's lead 2-1 in the PBA Governors Cup best-of-7 finals was a positive turn for the Aces but is no guarantee of better things to come because Game 4 will be a tougher challenge. The outcome of Game 4 at the Smart Araneta Coliseum tomorrow could determine how the series will end. If Alaska wins, it will be all even at 2-2 and Game 6 becomes a sure thing. If Magnolia wins, the Hotshots open a commanding 3-1 lead and could wrap it up in Game 5. So Game 4 will be pivotal in determining the fate of both teams. We know the next game will be much harder, and while we are glad to have won Game 3, we're still down 2-1, said Compton. Magnolia is really tough and they'll come back strong for certain. Game 3 signaled a 360-degree turnaround for Alaska at the Ynares Center in Antipolo last Sunday. In losing Games 1 and 2, the Aces were held to an average of 77.5 points, shooting a lowly 23.7% from beyond the arc. Worse, Alaska committed an average of 25.5 turnovers, a testimony to Magnolia's defense, which is no. 1 in the league. But in Antipolo, Alaska was white-hot, hitting 37.9% from the three-point line and compiled only 15 miscues to win, 171. Mike Harris and Carl Brian Cruz led the bounce-back for the Aces. Harris was held to an average of 21.5 points in the first 2 games of the finals, but in Game 3, erupted for 36, including 22 in the third period. Harris shot every single point in the Aces' 18-8 surge that broke Game 3 open in that quarter. Compton didn't bother to send Harris back in for the fourth. Mike has an impeccable work ethic, is a winner and a leader, and has always been, said Compton, who pursued the former Rice University star for 8 years before finally bringing him over. Harris, 35, is chasing his 7th title as a pro after winning 2 in Puerto Rico and 1 each in Kuwait, the NBA D-League China, and the West Asia Basketball Association Championships with Lebanon. Cruz was a revelation. Entering Game 3, he had played in only 4 contests this conference, averaging 2.8 points. Last Sunday, CBC finished with 10 points, including 2 of 4 triples, in 15:01 minutes. Brian has been a professional about everything and every day. He works as hard as everyone, whether he plays or not, said Compton. We just noticed some things that Magnolia was doing and thought Brian's strengths may be highlighted in this game. But you're not asking me about him unless he stepped up and played great. I'm really happy for him and proud of him. Alaska rookie Jiren Tang, a 2-time UP Finals MVP playing in his first Last Dance as a pro, said he wasn't surprised that Cruz delivered. Brian's just always ready to play, said Tang. He always works hard in practice, does extra shots. I'm not surprised because I know what Brian can do for our team. And he showed it in Game 3. As for Harris, Tang said he's a real leader on and off the ball. He's a vocal player and leads by example, said Tang. I have all praises for Mike. Tang, at 24 the youngest player in the finals, said the series is far from over. Before Game 3, Coach Alex told us to apply what we learned from Games 1 and 2, he said. He told us to keep learning and don't stop playing. After we won, he told us that nothing has changed. Our backs are still against the wall because we're still down 1-2. No time to celebrate, and we have to go back to practice the next day to keep learning and improving in this series. Tang said there's a big difference playing in the finals of the UP and PBA. I feel pretty blessed to be playing in the PBA finals. Not all rookies get the opportunity like this, he said. The difference is in the UP, it's best of 3. But in the PBA, it's best of 7. It's like a game of chess and you have to be prepared, not only physically but also mentally. You should learn from every game, whether winning or losing, and apply to the next. Before the finals, Tang averaged 5.3 points, 3.5 rebounds, 1.7 assists and 17.6 minutes. In the finals, he's averaging 6 points, 3.7 rebounds, 3.3 assists and 45 minutes. Tang may not be the explosive scorer he was at LaSalle, but is fitting nicely in Compton's system, embracing his role as an impact player off the bench.